What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Saturday. It is April 19th edition. We are breaking it down. So if you've never been here before, things a little bit differently. Video's a little bit longer. It's because we go through every game. So we're going to look at all the games, all the pitchers, all of the batters that make sense. After we get through with all of those games, we're going to do our matchup rating tool, which is through 10,000 simulations. So before I even started this video, I already ran 10,000 simulations, and these are the early projections and everything. We're going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. There are a ton. I will tell you right now, I did not count them up. We will count them during, but there might be more than I've seen, and I think our record is 34 through 10,000 simulations. So after that, we're also going to do Pitches Be Crazy, which is we give you the top 5 pitchers on the slate that have the best matchup for against a team that strikes out the most. And then we're going to do our little sports betting thing that we did yesterday, which we killed it. I don't have a name for it yet, but I saw a comment, it was like Buddy's Bets or something like that. I can't remember what it is. So just sports bets is what we're going to call it right now. So it is Saturday. We don't have MMA today. We don't have NASCAR tomorrow, but we do have NBA. So I will link the NBA video here because it is already live for you. We broke down the 4 games. We looked at the Vegas odds. We looked at the early projections and everything for you for the start of the actual season or postseason, not including the play-in tournament. So that being said, we're very excited. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit the like button. I'm going to do the same thing I did yesterday. And there are 2 ways to win every single day. We have 2 giveaways. The first way, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. You do all of those, and this video gets at least 50 likes, you'll have a shot at a free week of FTA+. That is a week of all sports that we offer for 1 week. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a shot at a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And just like yesterday's video, if this video can hit 200 likes, we will give away 2 plus 1. We'll add 1 today to 3 lifetime passes. So if you guys get this to 200 likes, we will do that. So we are going to see who the 2 winners from yesterday are, unless it's the same one. You never know. But that is what we're going to do. We're going to see who the 2 winners are because we had a minimum of at least 50 likes on Friday's video. This person right here will have a chance at a free pass. Even if the keyword is in this video or in this comment, it's still just for getting a minimum of 50 likes. And the winner is Joseph Kohler. There you go. And that's what it was. I don't remember my sports betting losses, only the fantastic wins. Call it buddy bets. Something like that. So we'll figure it out. So congratulations, Joseph. Please email me. Let me know your username on the website. If you don't have one, let me know your username, email, and password, and we will get your account set up. So we will re-roll it right now for that keyword. Keyword was boomer or some. There you go. Bree4KU. So congratulations, Bree. Please email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That email is down below. Let me know if you have a username on the site. I think you might. If you don't, I will need a user, password, and email, and we'll set you up for a free week. So like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to use Outlier, and we are going to go through all of the games. So we have some early games. Then we have the main slate, just kind of like what we had Friday, is kind of basically set up the exact same, and we'll break it down. So what we do is we look at the pitchers, we look at the batters, we look if they have any history or how the batters are doing in this season or how they're currently doing, and it'll really affect the win and stuff like that. So just like yesterday's video, I was all over the Arizona-Chicago game to start early. Same thing. The wind is blowing out hard again, or projected to the start of this game. It has a 52% chance for home runs, which is huge, just like yesterday. So you want exposure to the Cubs Arizona game again. Oriole Park, Cincy at Baltimore have 20% chance of home runs. Citizens Bank Park, Miami at Philly for this early slate. Wind is blowing directly out, 25% chance of home runs yet again. So I am fading the pitching in both of these. Taijuan Walker and Cal Quantrill, I'm all in on a Philly stack. I don't even need to break down this game very much. I am all in. Schwarber has 3 home runs against him. Trey Turner has a home run. Nick Castellanos has a home run. Max Kepler has a home run. I'm looking at them. Then I'm also throwing in a Bryce Harper. You could look at a Bryson Stott. Like, I'm all in on a Philly stack here. Would not surprise me if we make multiple different stacks for Philly, I would be okay with that. Now, if you don't trust Taijuan Walker because he comes in and like Otto Lopez has a home run against him, that is it. You could see that. Taijuan Walker comes in, he's got a 2.30 ERA, 15.2 innings, not striking out much, but they're really not hitting righties very well. If I were to take any, it'd be Xavier Edwards. It would be Eric Wagaman, Jesus Sanchez, maybe Kyle Stowers. That's it. But I am all in on a Philly stack here, especially with this wind. I don't trust the pitching, just like I didn't trust the pitching in the Cubs-Arizona game yesterday. So we'll move on to the Kansas City-Detroit game. Kind of just what we want to look at. So we got Casey Mize going up against Seth Lugo. So Kansas City bats against Casey Mize. Obviously, being in the same division, they see each other quite a bit. Bobby Witt Jr. has one home run, batting .500. Michael Garcia, 4 for 5. Biggio has a home run. You got Sal Perez has a home run against him. Then you break it down to the pitching. Right-handed pitching, I mean, Kyle Isbell, if you want to go a stack, I would go Salvador Perez. I would go Bobby Witt Jr. I would go Kyle Isbell because I think he'll be under-owned. I might even look at Pasquantino or even Massey if we're looking for a 5-man stack there. Detroit bats against Lugo. Baez has a home run, but again, I'm never using him. He could hit 5 home runs this game. I'm never using him again. Colt Keith I would look at. Zach McKinstry I would look at. I would look at a little bit of Torkelson and Gleyber Torres as well. I just don't trust the pitching as much as I trust the bats in that one. Kind of the same thing. Not as much as I trust this one, but yeah, definitely looking at Kansas City a little bit more than Detroit, but Detroit's bats it's kind of crazy to think about. They're there. They are definitely there. And they are here to prove something. So that is definitely one I'm looking at there. Then you got Arizona at Chicago. Again, I am not looking at pitching. I'm looking at the bats. The wind, there's no way I'm looking. Ben Brown versus Zach Gallen. Gallen comes in with a 4.64 ERA. He's already faced the Cubs once this year, has a 9 ERA against them. 9 strikeouts, but still with the wind doing what it's doing. They haven't seen him, but against right-handed pitching, I'm all in. Corbin Carroll, Eugenio Suarez. Pavin Smith let me down. I just needed one more single from him before he got pinch hit for, and I would have hit a big parlay. No big deal. I would look at Josh Naylor, who's killing it this year. Yeah, those are the ones I'm looking at. I just don't know what Pavin Smith's going to do. I don't know if they're going to pull him, if the game's close. I don't know. That's what scares me. Eugenio Suarez only batting 176 against righties, but still, with the wind, you just get the ball up in the air and it could fly out of there. I'm 100% looking at that. Then the Cubs bats. Carson Kelly's absolutely murdering balls right now. If he's starting, I would look at him. I would look at Michael Busch. I would look at Pete Crow Armstrong, Kyle Tucker, Suzuki, Ian Happ. Like, I am all in on multiple different Cubs stacks and multiple different Arizona stacks in this early slate. I'm not on the pitching. I do not trust that whatsoever. Even if the Cubs starter goes well for a little bit, their bullpen could absolutely get murdered. Their bullpen's terrible. They gave up 10 runs, I think, in the 8th inning, but Arizona gave up 6 in the bottom of the 8th. So it was a 16-run inning, and I could see another game like that. I don't think it's going to be ridiculous. Mariners at the Blue Jays is the next game here. Just going to look at it, going to talk about it for a second and kind of feel a little feel for this. So what's crazy about this is we're at the main slate is early here. You got Jose Barrios, and then you've got Castillo. So kind of looking at that, Barrios has been bad. I don't think it comes as a surprise. Logan Gilbert, whether or not it's going to be Logan Gilbert, let's see. So right now, they don't have Gilbert listed. So this might be one where they are just guessing, which for whatever reason they do end up doing that. I'm trying to see if that is here, if that is how, if it's not been announced yet. Let's see. Toronto. Luis Castillo versus Jose Barrios. So I don't know why it's showing Gilbert when it is Castillo. And for whatever reason, he is not listed there. But, I mean, he last pitched. He had a bad game in that one. 4.22 ERA, facing his former team. in that small ballpark. I completely understand that small ballpark, minus 2.9. I think people are going to see that. Toronto overall, it just depends on what Toronto team we're going to get. But Toronto against right-handed pitching, Bichette batting 318. You got Vladdy batting 304. You got Rodon batting 310. You got George Springer batting 378. Like, they could hit. So I could look at them. Andres Jimenez is another one. Not a high batting average, but he's got 3 bombs against right-handed pitching. I would look at that. Barrios, though, like in his career, Garver has a home run against him. Polanco does, but he's batting, I think, 1 for 14. Rowdy Tellez has 2 bombs. Like, they could be there. Then against right-handed pitching, that's kind of where this year they have not been the best. Jorge Polanco batting 318. 385 with 3 bombs I could look at. You look at him. You could look at J.P. Crawford. You could look at Cal Raleigh being a switch hitter there. There are just so many different options we can look at in this game that I don't think I want pitching. I think I want the hitters. But if we're looking, like, being a main slate, this could be a game we just avoid. But the way Barrios has been, you could look at some of the Seattle bats. Might just need to wait for the lineups to actually come out so we know who's actually going to be in. So the next game, we got the Reds at the Orioles. It has not been confirmed yet who the pitcher is for Baltimore. And that's kind of where we're at. Like, we're a month into the season, give or take a month. And it's not confirmed yet, which is unfortunate. So we look at this, and they think it might be Young. I think Brandon Young is getting, so he is making his major league debut. So he's got a 276. We don't know anything off of him. So in my mind, you guys know he's at 6,800, under 7K. Maybe we throw him in for tournaments. I just don't know how long he's going to go. So 3 starts, 16.1 innings, basically averaging about 5 innings a game, making his major league debut in this ballpark. Not the best. There's worse ballparks for him to go. So for 6,800, I'm okay with that. Then you got Hunter Green. I read something. He is the only pitcher who has not one person has gotten hit off his slider. He comes in with a .98 ERA. He's absolutely been killing it. Goes up against a Baltimore team. I mean, he's 4 decent starts at his price. He's gone up from 7,400 to 9,600. Going up against Cincy. Baltimore. Going up against Baltimore. Baltimore, they have not hit home runs against him. Against right-handed pitching, they've actually been pretty bad. Hunter Green, I'm all in on Hunter Green. If you were to go Cincy bats against someone making their debut, maybe Ellie De La Cruz, Candelario, Austin Hayes if he gets in there. I don't know if he will, but if he gets in there, I don't mind him. That might be it. Maybe Jose Trevino if you need a catcher who's going to be on the cheap option, especially on a huge slate like this. So yeah, I would absolutely go Hunter Green for cash. If you want to save money, go Young for tournaments. I'm okay with that one. Dodgers at the Rangers got Nate Eovaldi versus Sasaki. So Eovaldi facing one of his former teams, got a 2.55 ERA. Had 2 bad starts in a row though. One against Seattle, which they usually strike out a ton. 3 strikeouts. Cubs 4 strikeouts. So he had 2 really good starts to start the season. One fantastic start against Cincy, 8 Ks in a complete game. And then since then, it's gone downhill. That scares me. And couple it with the Dodgers. Throw him in for a tournament, sure, but cash, I can't trust him. Sasaki coming in, we know that he cried. He's had, for his price, he's not hit value whatsoever. So when I talk about value with pitching, 2 to 2.5 times value. So being 8,000, he needs a minimum of 16 fantasy points. A minimum of 16 fantasy points. He has not hit that. He's not even come close to that. That's my problem. Goes up against a Texas team where he's not, 5 innings is his most he's gone. 3 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts in the game is the most he's done. We know he's got some good stuff, but maybe it's just not going to translate to, I think Yamamoto struggled his first handful of starts Major League last year. So kind of what I'm looking at. I don't trust him, but we can, kind of looking at this game, probably looking at bats. So if I were to look at bats on both sides, Ohtani makes sense. Freddie Freeman makes sense against Eovaldi. Corey Seager on the flip side, Edman and Will Smith. But if we're looking at Texas bats, Adolis Garcia, I don't mind. Josh Young, I don't mind. Jonah Heim, I'm okay with that. Probably avoiding Simeon. Probably avoiding Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson's batting .060. So not ideal. So not doing very good there. I would go with the bats we talked about. Pitching wise, I'm probably off of those pitching though. So moving on to the next game after the LA and Texas game, we got St. Louis at New York Mets. So come in here, look at the Mets, look who's pitching. We've got Senga versus Liberatore. So Senga's been decent, 106 ERA, 2-1 record, only 16 strikeouts though. So it's kind of been low, 4-4-8 against Miami. He now faces a St. Louis team at home. So this is a pitcher's park. So we usually like to take pitching in this ballpark. Senga has never faced St. Louis before this year. Against them overall, like just a handful of the players. Arenado has a home run. Jordan Walker has a home run. That is it. So if you look at against right-handed pitching this year, St. Louis, you got Brendan Donovan batting .423. You have Lars Nootbaar batting .295. You got Sagisi batting .367. Nolan Gorman batting .357. Like, they hit righties well. Pedro Pages batting .286 with a home run. They're hitting well. I would look at St. Louis. I think people will be on Senga because of his ERA. I think St. Louis could be a sneaky stack today. Then you got Liberatore coming in, .393 ERA. One really good start against Philly, 29.1, went 6 innings with 7 Ks. Pittsburgh and the Angels didn't really do much against them. So you look at the Mets bats against Liberatore. Lindor does have a home run against him. Vientos has a home run. That is it. Then you look at how they do against left-handed pitching. So you've got Juan Soto this year really has struggled overall, but you've got a .455 batting average against them. Pete Alonso batting .400, so 4 for 10. So they really haven't seen much left-handed pitching against him. Like, decent, basically one start. Liberatore coming in, the good start against Philly, not so much there. Tournament-wise at 7,000, I'm okay with, but I think I would probably fade Senga just because he's 9,100. He is a little bit more expensive. So moving to the next game, Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Do have some rain concern here. You got Paul, but it's Paul Skeens versus Ben Lively. I'm looking at Skeens. That's what I'm looking at. Not really looking at pitching in this or batting in this one. But the problem is he is expensive, and we got to watch the weather. Hopefully the weather holds off. Think he could have a game similar to the Washington game, or maybe a game similar to Tampa Bay here, going up against Cleveland. 296 ERA, that's what I would look at. If you were to fade him because he is expensive and maybe the weather does scare you a little bit, I could see that. So what we'd look at in that situation is Cleveland bats against Skeens. They've never seen him before. This year against right-handed pitching, Stephen Kwan batting .357 if he can catch up to that fastball or slider. I could look at that. Gabriel Arias batting .323 with 3 bombs. I'm okay with that. J-Ram does hit lefties better, but he's a switch hitter, so you could put him in there. Carlos Santana also being a switch hitter. If you guys want to be a little bit different with a stack that I don't think a lot of people will be on, you could look at Cleveland, but I will have exposure to Paul Skeens for sure. The next game, we've got the White Sox at Boston. We do know Boston strikes out. And there's some great pitching matchups today. Garrett Crochet facing his former team that he just faced his last start, now at home. Don't overthink it. Garrett Crochet, I'm looking at him, 39.3. 11 strikeouts in that game. Had no hitter going pretty deep into the game. And then you got Shane Smith. He faced Boston on the flip side of that, 11.3. I wouldn't use him. I'd probably looking at Jarren Duran. Look a little bit of Rob Refsnyder if he gets in there. I don't mind him. Alex Bregman, Trevor Story, Cedane Rafaela. I'm okay with those guys. But yeah, I'm not looking at Shane Smith for pitching for DFS. For sports betting, he does have the third best matchup against a Boston team that strikes out. But you look at this, he only had 3 strikeouts against them. So that scares me a little bit, but don't overthink this one. Boston bats and Garrett Crochet for sure. The Yankees at Tampa Bay. It's at Tampa Bay, but it is actually, again, their spring training home. Shane Baz versus Carlos Carrasco. So we can look at this one. And the ball has been flying out of this ballpark quite a bit. I think Yankee Stadium's number 1, and this ballpark is number 2 for home runs. They're basically built kind of the same. Shane Baz here, really good start against Boston. 6 innings, 11 Ks. 2 of his 3 starts, he's had double-digit strikeouts. And the Yankees do strike out quite a bit. So maybe he has a good time. against them, then the bullpen comes in and they do not go off, or the Yankees go off on the bullpen. I could definitely see that being a thing. So we look at that. 142 ERA is fantastic. 27 strikeouts, so averaging 9 strikeouts a game. I like him here. The Yankees can mash, though. We know that. Then you got Carrasco on the other hand. Kind of up and down seasons to start the season. 594 had his best start of the year against Kansas City. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. But the strikeouts are low for him, and Tampa Bay can kind of hit when they need to, especially in this ballpark. So Tampa Bay against Carrasco, like Brandon Lau has 2 home runs. That's basically it. But this year, Jonathan Aranda batting .432 against righties. Caminero batting .304. Brandon Lau batting .269. Cameron Misner batting .444. Chris Morel batting .324. All of these against righties. Don't overthink this one. I do like a Tampa Bay stack as well. I think this could be a high-scoring game. Yankees bats against Boz, like Austin Wells has a home run, but he has food poisoning. He missed Friday. I don't know if he'll play today. Judge does have a home run. Grisham batting .385. Dominguez batting .400. If they are in there, I'm okay with that. Ben Rice has absolutely been mashing as well. I would look at Ben Rice as well if we're looking at a Yankee stack here. But I do like both of them. I just won't be using a ton of them in this one. Then we got Washington, Colorado, another game with weather. Mackenzie Gore versus Dollander. Dollander coming in, 2 starts, pretty decent starts there. Pitching-wise, I'm okay. Batting-wise, wait for the lineups to come out. James, I would look at James Wood a little bit. I would look at Luis Garcia Jr., just depending on the lineup that comes out. I don't mind them, but let's make sure it is confirmed with both of these pitchers, because when I look at this, it looks to be not confirmed yet for Washington pitching, so you never know kind of who you're going to get, because it looks like it could be Brad Lord. I think actually, yeah, so this one's where it's a little bit confusing, because did their game get postponed on Friday? Let's see. Yeah, so the game got postponed. So it could be the starters from Friday, or it could be these guys who were supposed to be the starters. So this is one where we're really not going to know. But again, probably if we're looking at pitching, I'm looking at the bats overall. So wait for the lineups to come out. Wait to see if it's a weird doubleheader type thing. I could definitely see that, seeing as they don't play each other a ton, not in the same division. So I don't really want to tell you any bats right now, because I don't know if it's 100% going to be these guys or it will switch up. So this game could also get postponed as well. The weather just has not been ideal for them there. So that is the main slate completed. All the games on the main slate. So we're still going to look at the night slate. Still going to look at the bats. So Athletics, Brewers, San Diego, Houston, Minnesota Braves, and San Francisco at the Angels. We will use Outlier to go the rest of the way, just kind of like what we did there. So again, I don't know if I mentioned, but at the second way to win in these videos in the giveaway, there'll be some sort of keyword or key phrase. And today's keyword, headphones. We'll put headphones as the keyword there. So you got Patrick for Milwaukee, Mr. Chad Patrick. And then you got Luis Severino. Now, Severino comes in, 4.01 ERA, 0-3 record. It's like he's got some great stuff and some matchups. They're just not scoring runs when he's out there. And he's giving up more runs than they're scoring. So it's just unfortunate for him. Milwaukee bats against Sevy. Jake Bauers has a home run. I don't know if he'll play. Rhys Hoskins has a home run. They're kind of doing decent there. I might look at the Milwaukee bats. I would look at William Contreras. He should start in this one. I would look at Bryce Terang. I would look at Garrett Mitchell. Christian Yelich. Obviously, you always want to look at him. And then it just depends on the lineup that comes out. Maybe it's a Joey Ortiz. Maybe it's an Oliver Dunn, Vinny Capra, Jake Bauers. Just kind of watch it. The ones I talked about are for sure. And then when the lineup comes out for Milwaukee, we could figure out which ones we're going to have. And then Athletic bats never faced Chad Patrick before, obviously. This year against right-handed pitching, Tyler Soderstrom's just smashing. I would look at him. I would look at Lawrence Butler. I would look at, like, that's the thing, not a ton. Usually, you guys know, if there's a pitcher that hasn't seen the team before, I'll usually have a little bit of exposure to him because I've never seen him. But like at the moment, it's just an Athletic stack doesn't look like I would take. It might be a Chad Patrick for tournaments, and then stack the Brewers against Sevy. Hate to say it, but that's kind of what it feels like. San Diego going here up against Hayden Wesneski. So we've got Michael King. Let it load. We've got Wesneski going up against Michael King. King, 48 plate appearances against the Houston team. The majority of those came with the Yankees. 191 batting average, 31.3 K percentage. Michael King has been killing it. 3-0 records to start the year, 2.42 ERA. Could see him get traded if the Padres are out of contention later on in the year. They're doing really well right now, but he could be a trade candidate. Just keeping it up. He's doing some good things, just kind of like what he did last year. Houston, Wesneski comes in 1-1 record, 4 ERA. And Padres do hit righties better than lefties. They really haven't had success. Machado's batting, 4 for 5 with 1 home run against him. Gurriel's batting 1 for 2 with a home run. Against right-handed pitching, though, this year, Gavin Sheets could be a cheap option if you're looking. Oscar Gonzalez batting 400. Tatis batting over 400 against righties with 6 bombs. I don't mind them. Obviously, Machado's another one who's batting 341. Those would be the ones that I'd look at. Luis Arraez, possibly. You're not going to get power from him, but you might get stolen bases. You might get on base with him. Elias Diaz might be another one. Just depends if he is starting catching there. And then Houston bats against Michael King. Yeah, I really don't like him. I'd rather take Michael King and then San Diego bats than take Wesneski and Houston bats in this one. Then we got Minnesota Twins at the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves are just very bad for some reason to this year. But we do have Chris Sale going for him and Simeon Woods Richardson. Chris Sales, I don't know what's going on. 0-2 record, 6.63 ERA, 19 innings pitched this year, 11. So the strikeouts are there, but he's just giving up some runs. Minnesota bats against him, like Carlos Correa has a home run, that is it. Against lefties, they're not really doing very much this year. They've only seen, 2 starts against lefties? Or if we even look, maybe bullpen. I think those are starting pitching. But they're not doing very much. Chris Sale, his numbers are bad, but he has his matchup is good here. So I really don't know what we're going to get out of Chris Sale, how much he is up in price, and how his ERA is. I think people might be on him, and I'm okay with that because Minnesota overall, they're not hitting lefties yet. But again, if Chris Sale is off, they could definitely smash him. Simeon Woods Richardson, really haven't seen him. Michael Harris has a home run. Matt Olson 1 for 2. That is it. Against right-handed pitching this year, the Braves, they're bad. Overall, they're bad. If you were to take Braves bats, I'm looking at Ozuna if he's in. I'm looking at Sean Murphy, Michael Harris, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley. Those would be the ones I'd look at. But Simeon Woods Richardson, Atlanta strikes out the second most out of any team. So if you want to kind of look at it that way, I could see it being that way. So that's one to look at, kind of monitor the situation there. Chris Sale, his price is so high. If you lock him in and he has another bad game, pretty much screws you for the rest of the day. That's the only problem, especially on Fanduel. But on DraftKings, you might be able to get away with it since you have 2 pitchers. I just don't know. Then the final game, we got the Giants versus the Angels. You got Landon Rout versus Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks is one of those. He's boring. He doesn't do a ton. Comes into this game here, 0-1 record, 5.4 strikeouts per game, so not ideal. He's kind of. I would probably look at the bats in this one overall. So if I'm looking at the bats, like San Francisco bats against him, Wilmer Flores, Elliot Ramos are my top 2. Tyler Fitzgerald is another one I'd look at. Yastrzemski is batting 357 with a couple of home runs against right-handed pitching. Those are the ones I'd look at. Flip side of that, Angels bats. We know that the Angels their offense has been decent, but their pitching's been bad. If I were to take them, it would be Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, Soler, Adele, Shanuel, Logan O'Hoppe, Kyron Paris. This might be one that you could look at as a multiple different stack, but I don't know if we would be doing that 100%. There's just other games we can look at. I guess night slate, though, there's not really. So in conclusion of that, yeah, Angel stack, I don't mind. You could even maybe go away from Mike Trout, not pay up for him, and pay up for other ones in the Angels, and be okay with that. So there you have it. Those are all the games broken down, the pitchers and the batters. We are now going to do the top 5 pitchers with pitches be crazy. Or no, we're going to do all of the batters have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating first. And like I said, there are a ton today. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number 1 is Kyle Schwarber. 2 is Bryce Harper. 3 is Trey Turner. 4 is Nick Castellanos. 5 is Brenton Doyle. 6 is Ezequiel Tovar. 7, Wilyer Abreu. 8, Jesus Sanchez. 9, Corey Seager. 10, Rafael Devers. 11, Juan Soto. 12, Brandon Marsh. 13, Max Kepler. 14, JT Realmuto. 15, Bobby Witt Jr. 16, Francisco Lindor. 17, Mookie Betts. 18, Bryson Stott. 19, Alec Boehm. As you can see, it's pretty much Philly stack here. And with the weather, yes. 20, Kyle Stowers. 21, Marcell Ozuna. 22, Kerry Carpenter. 23, Kyle Farmer. 24, Vladdy. 25, Eric Wagman. 26, Gleyber Torres. 27, Salvador Perez. 28, Tyler Soderstrom. 29, Otto Lopez. 30, Yandy Diaz. 31, Griffin Conine. 32, Jonathan Aranda. And 33, Alex Verdugo versus Simeon Woods Richardson. So we were 1 short of our record of 34. We have 33 through 10,000 simulations that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating, which is wild, almost unheard of, which is fantastic. The more free information you guys can have, the better, I say. So we do have FTA Plus. It's $10 for a week, $30 for a month, $199 for a year. Just like I said in our NBA video, there are 3 people that I'm waiting to hear from and 1 spot available. Instead of $199, you can get that yearly spot for $99. So the first come, first serve. First person that emails me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, we will get you set up if you pay. So yeah, first come, first serve. If you guys are interested, it is there. I don't know what's going on. I'm waiting to hear back. I have not heard anything. So try to email us. Okay. So looking at this, for the bases, sports betting, buddies bets, whatever we want to call this segment. Right now, Philly is at the top, okay? With the wind blowing out, the number of bases, the games, everything, we've got to get exposure to that game. The current bases, Miami's projected at 16.41, Philly 17.46. Coors is number 2, Fenway is number 3, with Boston being 17.57 bases compared to Chicago White Sox 12.72. So a ton of information to go over. Philly bats that I would look at. Trey Turner, 2+ bases. Absolutely. Kyle Schwarber, 2+ bases. Bryce Harper, 2+ bases. Flip side of that, Miami, if you are looking at anyone, maybe Xavier Edwards or Jesus Sanchez, you could look for 2+ bases. A couple other ones. If this game gets played, Ezequiel Tovar, but he's missed a couple of games. But if it's Brad Lord, you could go up against Brad Lord. Brenton Doyle will be another one, 2+ bases for those guys. A couple of Boston bats, Jarren Duran and Rafael Devers. Wilyer Abreu, another one I would look at for Boston, and Trevor Story. And then a couple of one-offs here, Shohei Ohtani against Evaldi and Kerry Carpenter versus Seth Lugo. So those are a ton of plays you can look at for 2+ bases. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And now we're going to do pitches be crazy. So these are the top 5 pitchers. It's the Washington bat, whoever the pitcher is for Washington, whoever the Nats pitcher is going to be at Colorado. Colorado strikes out 10.83 times per game, 10 flat at home. Simeon Woods Richardson at Atlanta. Atlanta strikes out 9.89 times per game, 9 times flat at home. Number 3, Shane Smith at Boston. 9.85 times per game, 8.71 at home. I'm off of him. I will not use him. He only had 3 strikeouts against Boston last game. Kyle Hendricks versus San Francisco Giants, 9.79 times per game, 10.77 on the road. And Taijuan Walker versus Miami, 9.72 times per game, 11.2 on the road. So those are pitchers that are only there due to the teams that strike out the most. But this is one of those rare days that I'm probably off of every single one of those, and I am pivoting to different ones. So my number one for today is Garrett Crochet, projected right around 8 strikeouts against the White Sox. He had 11 against them last time. Paul Skeens, number 2, projected right around 7 strikeouts for me through 10,000 simulations. Number 3 is Chris Sale versus the Twins, right around 6.5 strikeouts a game. Number 4 is Shane Baz versus the Yankees, 6.44 is the projection. And number 5 for me today, Michael King against Houston, 5.64 Ks per game, or that's his average here. Over his last 5 games, Michael King, 6.5. Over his last 10, 6. And over his last 20, 6.45. So those are all of the batters and pitchers through the entire breakdown. Those are all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Those are our buddy bets. We'll call it buddy bets for now. All of the batters that we like for 2+ bases. And those are all of the pitchers that I like 4 strikeouts. I'm pretty much fading the entire Pitches Be Crazy segment of the teams that strike out the most and going with the ones that I talked about. So Garrett Crochet, Paul Skeens, Chris Sale, Shane Baz, and Michael King. So hopefully you guys have a great day, whether or not you're sports betting, whether or not you're enjoying your family, whether or not you're playing DFS, whether or not you're playing basketball or baseball. We've got you covered for both of those. I will link that here at the end. Good luck today. And you guys know what to do. As always, bring up some bacon. Peace.